I got tagged. Not only did I got tagged, I got double tagged. John that lived for a while tagged me in a 3x3, 6x6 knife tag, and I'll explain that in a minute. And about a day later, Sue Nelson tagged me in a 3x3, which is kind of along the same lines. And I'll leave links if you guys, I'm sure you know of both these channels, but if you don't, I'll leave a link to their channel in the description box. But basically the 3x3 is 3 of your folders or 3 of your fixed blades, and it would be your most recent, your most used, and your budget. Not necessarily in that order, and I don't know if I'll show them in that order or not, but John added with that the 6x6, or 3x3, 6x6, which is 3 folders, sorry about that, 3 folders and 3 fixed blades. Okay, starting out with my fixed blades, my most recent is my Mora Garberg. I received this in a contest win from EDC Adventures, and I really love this knife. It's a great knife. I'm really partial to Moras. I like their style. I like their versatility. Of course, great price, and of course on the Mora Garberg, it's full tang, so that makes it a little bit beefier knife. But that's my most recent on my fixed blade. If I had to say my most budget, well, I've been blessed. I've had a lot of good friends give me some knives, so this was my first knife given to me at my very first the very first gathering I went to back in 2014, and that was actually one of my first Bushcraft knives. But that's not my budget knife that I'm going to speak about. I have a Camillus that my brother gave me, and this is a nice knife at a decent price, a very decent price. It's a good backup knife to have in your kit. That is the Camillus Titanium. A friend of mine, Kyle Chrisman, gave me this knife. I don't have any information on it. It's a nice little knife to carry on your side, or a neck knife. I had a K-bar that he really wanted, and I gave him the K-bar, and he had some knives there, and he insisted that I take one and trade, and I just kind of liked the looks of this one, so I took that one. But if I had to say one of them was my most budget knife, it is the Wahoo Killer, which, as you can see, kind of resembles a Mora. But I won this again in a contest. Real Cobra Burnout had that contest, and nothing wrong with that. It is a budget knife, but it's not a bad little knife to have as a backup. It's lighter than a Mora, but I find it's really good for a lot of the lighter skills, feather sticking, stuff like that, carving. It's a nice little knife, but that would be my budget knife, the Wahoo Killer. Now for the most used, man, I cannot talk today. Just got off work and haven't slowed down yet. But if I had to say my most used knife would be my Mora Bushcraft Black. I love this knife. I was at a camp and I saw somebody using one, and I took a look at it and I held it, used it a few times, and as soon as I came back from camp I had to order one. I really love that knife. I think Mora did great with that. It does great on sparking off a ferro rod. Just great all around knife. Love that knife. But on to the folders. As many of you know, I'm not a big folder guy. Don't carry one usually. If I need a knife or a folder, I go and get it, use it for whatever chore I'm doing, then put it away. I don't usually carry one, but these are a few that I have, and the 3 that I'm going to use for this tag. This is a knife that I received from David Robertson. I don't know exactly what knife this is. It's got a lot of useful tools on it, if you would. David used to have a channel, well, he still does, called American Warning. A lot of current events, stuff like that. But I received this from him at a gathering that I was at. So this would probably be my most recent. If I had to say my most budget knife, is just this little oddball knife that I picked up from Publishers Clearinghouse. I was on there one day and I saw the knife. It actually came two in a box, and I thought that'd be a cool little knife to have in my toolbox for odd chores when I didn't want to use a better knife. So that's my budget knife, and it's actually worked out pretty good. If I had to say my most used folder, it'd be my Victorinox, and I think they call this the Classic. I use the little screwdriver part quite a bit. The knife part, I don't know how many times I've dug it out to do some small chore or something I've had to pry out or cut. The little file edge I've used on several different things. If I'm working on something and I need to knock a little edge off, you know, I've used it on my fingernails. The scissors I've used a few times, not a whole lot. They work so-so, but they do work. But that Victorinox Classic would probably be my most used of my folders. Well guys, there is my 3x3, 6x6 tag. Alright, my three that I'm going to tag, and first off, I'm not very good at this tagging thing. I'm never quite sure who to tag, but three that kind of came to mind is number one, Outdoor Wanderer. I'd like to see your three fixed in your three folders of newest or recent, your budget, and your most used. Number two, MBYR31. I would really like to see your take on this. Got a pretty interesting channel, guys. Not quite bushcrafting, but he's getting into bushcrafting, and just a fun channel. But I'd like to see your take on this, buddy. Number three, Call of the Beard. He had been off YouTube for a little bit, but then in the last couple weeks has made some pretty interesting knife videos, so I would like to see his take on this. In fact, guys, you might want to get over there and check out his videos. He's got a real knife collection that he is showing, and then he has a video where he's talking about the laws and maybe even some antiquated or outdated laws in New York area that you might be interested in if you're from that area. But anyway, there are my three tags. I will leave links to their channels down below, and I hope you go and check them out. Guys, this has been kind of fun. I hope you watch everybody else's videos that are doing this. It's kind of cool seeing all the different videos and finding out which one they use the most. That's been the most interesting part for me. Guys, talk to you later. Thanks for watching.